All right. More standard Brawl. I'm having too much fun, so I can't resist. This time we're here with Kaya, another commander I have played. Probably my favorite color scheme, right? Black, white, nice and slow control nonsense. Not really. Yeah, this was one of the things that actually did beat me yesterday playing Nissa was mono removal. There are a lot of creatures in this format, and again, I think I was saying this in the last video at the end, when your deck is like 60 cards in Singleton, unlike 100, you have less room for like random stuff. So there's a lot of rares, a lot of mythics, and a lot of those things are high value creatures, and we can kill them with uncommons. So this might be one of the kinds of strategies that doesn't use a lot of rares, right? Maybe if you just don't have like the densest of pool things but want a very successful deck anyways. I could be completely wrong. It could end up being a lot of rares and mythics. It probably will, but there will be probably a fair amount of removal, and removal is pretty cheap. So let's see what it looks like. I think I'm going to shave a land and try to get away with it. Yeah, we're going to try to shave a land. We're going to start there. If it becomes a problem, we can change it, but we do have mana rocks, so alright, this is what we got. A bunch of board wipes, a bunch of removal, some card draw, and just go over the top with a giant threat. Send it. Let's play out this. Man, everyone's so nice. Oh, look at that. I had flashbacks. I'm like, here it comes. And then it didn't show up. Look at that. 3 mana commanders in green, and you can't play them on turn 2. Oh, man. I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. Is this what happiness? Is this what everyone says it is? This alright, we're gonna trade. Because I draw a card. Oh, if I played my land first, we wouldn't trade. No. It's fine, actually. It's still totally fine, because I could just kill the next thing they play. It's not like the murder went away. My opponent still has to play magic into it. But that would have been funny if I just found the answer off the top. Untap Greenland and not instantly winning the game. I know. I'm gonna deal with this. This might be one of the few times, just because it's like my first game, actually killing a... we're gonna draw? Oh, I don't have enough black. Ooh, I played the wrong land then. Yikes. Alright. I would have easily have just drawn 3 here. That was a huge mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oh, this dies to cut down. It dies to cut down. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize that. It did mean this would live, but... Okay, now we'll do the right thing. I could also do this. I don't really want to. Maybe I should. It's not like I'm using this white mana, right? There's no reason not to? There's no reason not to do this, right? I can't use the double white. So we put a card on the top, and that card could just be a land. Could just be one of these disgusting things. Could be this, could be this. We'll do Shieldred. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, it's only 60 cards, so it's pretty... Everything in my deck is moderately within reach at any one point. Atali is a concern of mine. This is not really a concern. I know it finds a land, but it doesn't go into play. Looks like killing the Minotaur might have not been super effective. It's not seeming like it was an efficient use of resource. Oh, well, maybe it was, actually. Maybe it was, because of this Shieldred. If I chose to get Shieldred. Could have gotten a sweeper if things panned out differently. Did I charge my... Okay. Make sure my headphones are charging. I'm taking a break from wearing headphones when streaming. Give my ears a break, because I wear headphones so much. Don't you target this. Don't you have white removal. Don't you do this. Oh. Green removal. Tragic. Tyrannex Rax. Alright, so that is coming into play, and it can't be countered, and I can't kill it if I go to cast my commander. Is that all okay with me? I think it is. So I can play Ironcrag first, and then I can just play Kaya twice. There are not too many hasting threats. I could just draw so I don't fall behind. It's not like the plus is doing anything, right? I can exile something. No, we're just going to draw cards. Opponent gets their little scry. I kind of just expect them to play the giant dinosaur. They did need triple green. I don't think killing this would take them off triple green, so... There's no way they don't just kill Kaya. I don't think there's anything else that can... me running into it might be sketchy. Maybe they're thinking that it's, just don't want to cast it because I let this happen. But yeah, as I thought. So if that was their only green source, they couldn't have played this if I killed this, but that's not realistic. No witnesses. I don't want them to investigate. So we will play nothing, right? This is instant speed. This is instant speed, so I guess I'm doing nothing. It's 6 mana. Yep, we'll just take whatever damage this is. Alright, this works out in my humble onions. Oh man, look at that. It's like the white cyclonic rift that never was. I don't know if there's more hasting threats. I mean, Atali could randomly do something, I guess. But I am getting kind of low. Probably just plus Kaya. It also gives it a lot of loyalty if I plus it. And it's not like my hand can't deal with things. So, yeah, we'll probably just plus it. Although I do really like minusing, or zeroing. We're just going to plus. Going to 8 seems really good. And, yeah, it's now just a parked removal spell that's a nightmare. So, Atali is the only thing I can think of that's a major issue. Zakama is not in standard, right? Man, they're just really casting that again, huh? Alright, I was about to say, yeah. I guess they just didn't have anything. But, some commanders like this one... Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. Some commanders like that one do struggle with playing, like, cards outside of a single set because they really want to play dinosaurs and they're all from like the same set, so you're playing block constructed almost. Yep, reload at my orange juice. Yeah, tactical reload. Well, actually maybe yes. Maybe yes. Everyone is so nice. Can someone just be mean to me? Please? I deserve it. Okay, I'm not really convinced I should kill that, because I have this. So I'm going to take this opportunity to draw a bunch of... I did it again! Did I actually do it again? I did. Yep, I did. I didn't play a black source, so whoops. I did not play a black source. Okay. I can't say I'm too concerned about that, so... Yeah, if you blow up my Ironcrag... Okay. I mean, you just sort of killed your own creature. And you basically turned my Mana Rock into a removal spell. Which I am down with. Do they swing first? They should probably do that, at least. Alright, looks like they don't have a choice. So they chose not to blow up my stuff. I will probably Sunfall here. Could just let them investigate, honestly. I kind of want to hold on to Sunfall for later. So. But I did give him a clue token. What does this do when it enters? Deals combat damage, that many cards, put that many dinosaurs. So if, unless there's an indestructible one, letting them hit me could thin their deck of like half of its threats if I just take 7, right? It's not like anything's gonna survive a Sunfall. There's no card in Naya that stops this, except Reprieve. Is reprieve in standard? I think it is. Is it actually? Hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can play this, and I will 0, so I don't fade on land drops or anything else I may or may not want. They're red. They could have some haste threats here, but this does have hexproof. They got no scry value. Haha. Haha. And also no planes for some reason. Alright. Found the haste threat. Of course they did. Of course they did. They found the haste threat that does the perfect amount of damage. Of course. With the perfect amount of mana. Why not? Okay. This, that. This. Pass. Should I say apologize? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay, another random giant dinosaur. Sure. What does this one do? Enters, scry 2. Did they not play land? I don't think they did. I can just safely kill things repeatedly, so I will. And can I play this and leave up mana for removal? Nope. But again, so if they play land, cast their commander, I'm fine with it. If they play land, cast their commander, swing at Kaya, I'm also fine with it. I think I'm winning this kind of game, so there's a really good chance they swing at my face, which I think, unless there's certain dinosaurs here, just gets absolutely annihilated by Sunfall. Oh, I got the Tyrannix Rex too. Yeah, see, this is what this is all like. It's not like Winota. It doesn't happen. Yeah, it's just, yep, alright. Destroy all other creatures, so 5. Opponent out here playing all the dinosaurs, and I am just cyberbullying them to no end. Oh no! Haste threat. That only does 3 damage that I probably don't do anything about? Oh, maybe not. Okay, you got me. Yeah, that's, yeah. I have a fair amount of naturalizes, as in my entire commander, so that's pretty cool. So many people say hello, it's really weird. Historic Brawl people are like, ah, the game will be over. The game will be over by the time I say hello. So I'm not even gonna bother. Minerock. Show me Minerock. Okay. Somewhat similar. Show me something of value. Somewhat similar. Not gonna cast it though. So sweet. Fast lands in your 5-color commander? What are you doing? So if I kill that, it can't itself tap for mana as an enchantment. So I guess I just will kill this, because other creatures tap for that, and they don't have any, so. This is fine with me. What's not fine is not drawing a land. I'm not going to soul partition, though. Trapped in the river, sure. That just gets schmeeded by the card my opponent knows about. Okay. I did find the land, and then we just pass. I'm not going to draw 3 off of this thing. I could get overwhelmed by enchantments, and one way to have that happen is missing my land drops. Alright, I'm going to cut that down. And I'm going to soul partition this. Make my opponent recast it in 10 years. Alright, now I actually do need lands. I can't miss lands twice. That's ridiculous. Boop. Okay, I can play that in this. That was really nice. I kind of wish it tapped... Actually, no, it doesn't really matter which one it leaves up. So I have another enchantment removal spell outside of my commander. Yeah, that's just... I have so many... Like, this actually doesn't blow up artifacts. It's only enchantments. So I can just start stealing these. Oh, did I not? Oh, that's fine. I didn't move my camera. I lowered my chair. Alright, I think I'm going to run Cruel Claw's Heist from now on. They took Arcane Signet. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Kind of interesting. Let's get rid of cards that don't seem too exciting, like Final Showdown, as in completely uncastable anyways. Destroy target non-outlaw. Maybe that's better than Fell. Although there are a lot of outlaws in Standard Brawl, so that might not be true. I kind of want to keep my Liliana. Is it gross? It doesn't look gross. Looks pretty honest to me. Let's get rid of this. I can get rid of Wrath. No, we can get rid of that. So, always feed the cycling. Let's get rid of... I could actually just do this here. Get rid of Murder. And my opponent's last card, which is a land. And we forage to get rid of that. Alright. I have Vraska. My opponent has an answer for it if I cast it, but then I can kill their answer. Okay. Well, if you manland attack Liliana, I just... Yeah, I mean, good. What is that? Where's that getting you? You kill Liliana, I still have Vraska, still drawing cards. You spend all your mana. Yep, we just, Oh, they're playing the desert, so we know they have the big sandworm, too. That's funny. That's really funny. Alright, Liliana, time to be dumb. And harass my opponent till they, I don't know. Doing nothing there is mind-boggling to me. Do they really have no turn 3 play? Wow. Crazy. Oh. Yeah. Of course. Perfect haste threat. God forbid I get that in the... when the mirror's swapped. So... do nothing? Kind of ugly. Another giant hasting threat. That I certainly didn't play that one. Well, that's annoying. I can actually deal with that one with this, though, so maybe it's not as bad. I'm not going to swing with it. I can also steal that, but I don't think I should. I want to start pulling ahead here. This was a very, very good opening sequence for them, but I still might actually just have it. Still might actually just have this game. Wait. Oh, never mind. So I have to blow up the board? Okay. I can't target it. Good thing I noticed that. Hexproof from non-green. Desperation Bramble Familiar. Getting the other best possible thing. Yet another haste threat. Of course. Opponent's dead to a 2-turn clock, though. So we send it. And I'm going to deny this card's existence by doing this. And play that. So they need a fair amount of things here. They can block a few of these things, but that's still not enough. Like they can go to 1 here. Oh wait, I thought they had a fight effect. Never mind. So now they go to 1, and I'm not dead to Nissa Ultimate. Yeah. So that was by far the best I've ever seen Nissa do against mono removal, which was have like the really, really good ideal haste threats right when you needed them, right? Like they actually dealt with Liliana, and it still wasn't good enough. That's kind of insane. Doesn't seem like that makes a lot of sense though. Another Surveillon one. With such a massive lack of 1-drops, it's certainly really good to have tap land on one, right? So I'm probably playing Liliana here, like always. Probably. Yeah, there's no way I don't just play this. It just seems insane to not play this here. Needs Torpor Orb? Well, you guys said take out Elish Nord, so I don't want to hear it. Alright, that was y'all's idea there. Because I have Soul Partition, I'm just gonna Cruel Claw. Volcanic Spite, that's awesome. That is actually just phenomenal. Wow. Let's get rid of this. That was phenomenal. This doesn't have haste, does it? Probably you want to play the invasion and not this random 4-4. They do play the random 4-4. Okay. Adorable. Let's get rid of Soul Partition. Well, it gets rid of random creature. Probably wanted to play the 3-mana removal spell, actually. Oh well. I mean, it does deal with enchantments, but that I don't think that matters. Discard a card, draw a card. Do we get rid of the land? If they do and don't have an... Oh, they had 2 lands. Okay. Makes sense to me. Do we have... Is this castable? It is not. It's quite huge. That's not castable. Alright, so we lose to a land into good outcomes. Should never be playing Copperline Forge, in my opinion. That seems like you don't want that as your like final required land there. Okay, I'm gonna swing. Do we think our opponent trades? I feel like that would be maybe insane if they trade it. Okay. I'm going to cast it. This might be horrendously wrong. I don't really know. I don't think I'm getting to the Liliana ultimate, so maybe it was wrong to just send the Sunfall there. But I don't know. I mean, again, there's a lot of bad outcomes for Atali. Like, a lot. Of course, they answer my Nissa immediately. And also... get a 4-2, that doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I draw a land, I can do the same thing. Okay, I actually drew a land for once, that's cool. We shall do the same thing. I can get rid of the removal spell on my commander, or my Liliana too at some point. They can't recast Atali for a while because it was a treasure token. Okay, we abrade this, and what was the other one? It's just dead. Alright. Probably should have cast mine and kept theirs in exile. It doesn't really matter, but... Alright, we actually did it. Again, another Atali matchup where, you know, sort of the expected outcome happens. They just can't get off the ground. Milling this might have been the worst decision possible, and that's what they did, I think, on turn 1. Because that is kind of hard to deal with, but that's so, I mean, that's so far down the road, and I didn't know their hand outside of that. But I think I would just always keeping a hard to deal with threat in a matchup like this. Another 2-land hand's got Iron Crag. Okay. You know, I actually don't like Soul Partition. Maybe I'd take it out. It is like the first card I get rid of with Liliana every time. Probably just take it out. We could run Kaimil. I don't really like Kaimil because there's a lot of cards in my deck that are terrible to just randomly spill off the top of my deck. So I don't really like it. But it is a castable card and legal to put in my deck, so who knows. Alright, last time I played against this, it had the exact same card. Interesting. I didn't draw a land, though, so... I could turn Soul Partition into a land. So I stop having situations like this. What am I doing on 4? Nothing? I don't want to do nothing. So. I don't think there's anything that counters this. Oh. Okay. Probably wouldn't have stolen that. Let's take... Counter target spell instead of play 2. Skrell's Hive is funny. Skrell's Hive is really, really funny, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna take the counter spell. And I'm gonna just tempo this out of the game. And there's no way on earth they cast their commander, so... Even if they could, I guess this is tapped. Alright, unfortunately I have nothing. This would have been a huge turn to draw land, and I didn't, so... I would not deal with that, even if I could. I would have probably just cast Malcolm here. That's actually kind of weird. Cool, I can do nothing again. Alright, so... I got out of the opener without dying, and then I proceeded to not draw lands, so... That's always fun. Hoping for one thread at a time. That is in case that is in fact what happens, so... Okay. I'm deeper into this game than I thought I could get. That's a repeal... Whoa, repel calamity? Okay, yeah, you got it. This is not them casting Malcolm, which I probably would have cast. Let's play this, because again, went 4 turns or 5 turns in this game without drawing a land. Okay. That is Flash. My opponent is out of their mind casting that at the point at which they just cast it. But I don't... Well, I mean, I do have a punish for it. I guess I should, right? I don't want this to hit me. And yeah. Alright, I mean, sure. Kind of insane that I guess it's just not just guy control. Because if it was, I think I would have been doomed by now, but I'm not doomed. Very interesting. I don't feel as though Skrelv's Hive will, like, kill me this game. I find that rather unlikely. It is possible. I could just get rid of it with my commander. What am I stealing out of the graveyard? Not really anything. Yeah, we could just get rid of the thing that actually can kill me, right? Before I get into problems, just while I'm ahead, might as well. It does generate tokens until I kill it, or my opponent kills it. So if I don't block with it, it, you know, sits there, and they can't kill my commander as it stands, right? But I don't think this is a realistic win condition for me. But it would have done my opponent quite well to chip away at my poison count. Milling my opponent is also kind of meh, because it's got text on it. There has not been a single game where I've cast Phyrexian Arena. I have not cast this card yet. Maybe my opponent just feels extra bad in his baby raging because I went 5 turns without drawing a land. And at which the point I was also baby raging. Gigateer Inti. Let's find out. No. Still a 1-drop. I will do nothing. How about that? You think of that? I didn't think of that. Inti? No. Alright, let's get rid of this. They probably get rid of my Virtue. I could have let them swing and just... Nah, it doesn't matter. Invasion soloed us last time. Wait, vodka and where? The orange juice or the peanut M&Ms? I actually have this. My blueberry, my bottle chock full of blueberry vodka there. Been letting it simmer and cook for a while. Alright, in order to keep up with my opponent, I probably should do this and then just pull ahead as the game proceeds. But I would also like the Mana Rock. My opponent just played a 2-2 with arguably no text. That's pretty cool. Let's play this and that, and I don't think I'm remotely concerned about this card. Whenever one of our tokens is a... Yeah, I mean, I'll probably still kill it. Okay, well, you know. Let me do that instead. We have a protection spell? No. Yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting choice. That art is hilarious. Weasel Soldier? Look at it. It's adorable. Its hand is so tiny. Oh my goodness. Maybe it is. Maybe this is actually the best card in the game. Maybe I was just wrong. Okay, what's going on? Oh, I drew 2. Okay. Aha. You shall not flip the invasion. I feel really bad about killing this. I really do. Scry 2 becomes indestructible. Enlist. Okay. Well, you know you're in a good spot when Phyrexian Arena is your opponent's best out. I'm going to actually minus here because I'm so far ahead. I'm just so far ahead, right? Sure, that makes a 1/1 flyer, or does it fly? It's a bat, right? Yeah. Well, that's a little annoying. I probably would have blown this up if I was more aware of my reality. I mean, I can still do that, actually. Wait, what are you doing? Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Wait, what? What's happening? Why? What's happening? Oh, alright. Yeah, let's not let that be a thing. Alright. The mill strategy is here. Alright, yeah. Again, my opponent's best bet is Phyrexian Arena killing me, and that's not going to happen. We have a plus that offsets the life loss, and I can just ignore it and probably draw. I mean, if this drew 20 cards and I didn't win the game, then I have other problems. Yeah, if this commander just can't enter if you have nothing in play, right? You need to have something in play, and if not, it needs to either have haste or like you just can't play it butt naked. And we were just killing all the things they were playing. It's just they were doing everything my deck wants to do, right? So. Yeah, and we killed the weasel. I feel kind of bad. We did kill a weasel. Felt unnecessary. It actually was unnecessary. If I didn't kill the weasel, I think I was fine. So, I might actually be a monster. Okay, so I really like this commander. I'm probably going to say that a lot. Maybe it's just the format. I like everything because it's the format, but I really like this commander. I think Atali seemed to be by far the most prolific thing I played against, which, unlike yesterday where I didn't see the same thing twice, I saw Atali like 6 times. I did lose to Atali where it did high roll into Oblivion, and I just lost because it like found a Planeswalker out of my deck and then a giant spell out of their own deck, and I just lose. But for the most part, most of the Atali decks didn't do that, right? So it's a very, very polarizing matchup. And I bring it up because Atali seems to be an inevitable matchup that you bump into quite a few times, or however many times. And you can't stop Atali. It will always just enter, and you just gotta hope it doesn't just make the game non-existent by just winning. But, you can steal your opponent's Atali, and that mattered. But for what this does, I like it. It is 7 mana, so it's a little steep, but it was fine enough. It didn't really feel too bad about getting it into play. It wasn't really my main concern with the deck. So, I'm gonna go watch the Silent Hill play. Yeah. Oh yeah, it just dropped. That's right. I have it posted later now. I like the plus. The 0 is phenomenal. If it didn't have the 0, I don't think this commander has any chances. And the -3 is also extremely good. It's, again, the primary way you seem to turn the Atali matchup into a good matchup by stealing their Atali. Even when it flips, you can just exile it. So that, like, if it wasn't for that -3, the Atali matchup is probably, you're just always losing. But outside of Atali, it was good, right? Any creature-based deck, you're just in a huge advantage. You have so many board wipes. You could probably take out 1 or 2. Honestly, I don't even know if I like the Eternal Wanderer. It is a win condition, all in one card, right? That's how can you go wrong? But it is 6 mana, and your opponent does get to, like, keep a creature. So it can sort of just always die when you do that, and it's like a 6 mana board wipe that kept your opponent's worst creature in play and then probably dies. And I don't really like that, with the offset being like you make 2/2 double strikers as a way to like actually kill your opponent. But again, I also don't really like that. And then the plus is meh. So I don't know. It's not amazing. I did really like Vraska. Shieldred was good. Breach the Multiverse is good. If it wasn't for Breach, I probably wouldn't play this outright, right? If I couldn't reanimate Planeswalkers off of this just probably wouldn't be in here, but there's always a chance. And the only reason I say that is because we're playing 60 cards and not 100. If it was 100, I'm taking this out. All the sweepers are just good. I did get a little mana screwed, so maybe I was too greedy on my land count, but I mean 23 lands with a bunch of mana rocks. I kind of like this. I don't really want to run more lands, but if I did take out Wandering or Eternal Emperor, that is one less highly expensive card, and I wouldn't feel too bad about that. So there's a good chance this won't be in the list I upload. Yeah, I'm actually just taking it out now. I saw a mana artifact rock, excuse me, just an artifact style deck that was cool with mono white playing the Eternal Wanderer, and that was pretty neat. It actually beat me. It was a long grindy game that I slowly lost, and I lost to Realm Breaker. I had no answer to it, and it just milled me out, and they're just going back and forth with all these artifacts. So that was a really cool style of deck. I've only seen it once. I kind of want to play it. The Liliana was phenomenal. This card is just so good, right? Your opponent discarding creatures and you discarding a removal spell is basically you casting the removal spell on the creature that got discarded, right? So you're at parity, except now you don't have to invest the mana on the removal spell. Now your opponent doesn't have to invest in the creature they didn't cast, but it just serves you well to do that. It's also it's an ultimate that wins the game immediately, right? That's also very good. It's like the other one. I prefer the other Liliana, but it's not in standard. The one that like gives something -2/-1 and infinite zombies. I just think that's funny. But this one is just good. The -2 is good, right? Any creature-based deck has the steepest hill to climb to beat you. And your commander, for the most part, in those matchups doesn't matter too much, but sometimes it does. And by the time you cast this and your opponent has no creatures in play, or they had one and you just exile it, your opponent's completely screwed. And so much so that you might not even... I don't have Portal to Phyrexia in here, but I think Virtue does make sense, mainly because of the 2-mana removal portion. But reanimating your opponent's creatures, while that is ideal to like win a game, my voice is, bro, I'm really stuck in puberty. Ugh. While it is nice to just steal things out of the graveyard and kill your opponent that way, I don't really have to win the game with creatures and pummeling my opponent. So if I can avoid playing very expensive spells like Portal to Phyrexia, Cityscape Leveler, Virtue Persistence, Eternal Emperor. Sure, I have less win conditions, right? But a lot of people, when they're out of resources, just concede. They just concede. So you don't have to put another 5 card slots dedicating to winning the game once you're in a very stabilized position. I never killed anybody with the +2 spam, right? Just did that. How many times did you have to do it? Like 7? 3 times 8, 24. So 9 times to kill somebody, assuming there was no other way to deal damage to them. So I mean, it's probably not exactly going to be 9. Doing 24 is probably going to kill your opponent. But that never happened. The hexproof on this itself, I can't really tell you how often that came up, because if they could have targeted and now they can't, I wouldn't know they were able to do that. But I don't think this having hexproof is super crucial. It's a really nice bonus, but I really don't know if it's that necessary. Probably not. And maybe if it was something else, I don't know what that something else could be. Knowing Wizards, probably something worse, but hexproof is all right. It's all right. It's already a 7-mana bomb that you don't really ever go for until you're, in a position where it's just really good to exile something or draw something or stuff like that. Yeah, 9 times. Yeah, okay. White Sun's Twilight. If you remember, there's somebody in Historic Brawl, not Standard Brawl, that plays this card in a mono-white Redain list, and it's like the only player I ever bump into that plays it a lot. His Redain list is nuts. I've only beaten it once. White Sun Zenith beat me like 3 times against that guy, because he always plays it. Here in Standard, it's about the same. I did actually kill somebody with the Mites, Now, there was one game where I could have made more than 5, and I just didn't. I just clicked the 5 button and then sent it. I think in that exact game, if I did click more and then 5, I probably would have won, but I didn't. So I just, like, whoops. But yeah, just be aware that you don't have to do exactly 5. You know, you could just send all your mana into it. For some reason, I just chose not to, and it actually was a bad idea. It's kind of funny. Cruel Claw's Heist was not in here initially, and then I got hit by it like 3 times, and I this is probably just really good. No, your opponent does draw a card, but it's like a reverse version of... Oh, yes, thank you. Okay. Vendilion Click. It's like Vendilion Click, except in the good order, where they draw the card first. And then you can tell, to decide what to put to the bottom. If they remade Vendilion Click, they might actually have just swapped the text like that, because, the power levels and all that jazz. Power creep. So it's really nice it's in that order. And you can just take your opponent's best card, and there's a fair amount of times you can cast that card and have it be relevant. I think there was one game where I stole a counter spell, and it didn't really do anything, but it did slow... Oh, no, that's not true. It slowed my opponent down because it was a soft counter at 2, a rune snag, if you will, and they had to wait to cast their spell. So yeah, it was still useful, right? It's just a good card. I'm not a giant fan of a bunch of discard spells, but there were some matchups, particularly the slower ones, where having discard would have been very useful, right? So I could maybe drop some of the spot removal. Actually, Soul Partition, maybe this is a hot take. Every time I had to discard something out of hand, this was the first thing I discarded with my Liliana, which happened a few times actually. I don't really like Soul Partition. It doesn't really deal with any card too effectively except your opponent's commander. In some of those commanders, it doesn't do that at all. Like Atali. You're not going to Soul Partition Atali. It's just like, why would you ever do that? I did not have Elish Norn in here, right? I'm talking about Atali all this time. And Elish Norn just sort of shuts down Atali's ETB, and that would have just single-handedly won the game against certain Atali opponents. But it is a little weak to certain strategies. It costs 5 mana. It doesn't have an immediate threat like Shieldred, like kills something when it enters. But it probably could come in here. I really just don't like Soul Partition, though. I was just unimpressed with it every time. I'm taking out so many white cards. I probably actually take out another Plains. Yeah, so Elish Norn might be better than it is worse, right? You don't really want to play it and then need to cast sweepers after, because then you killed your Elish Norn. The only thing that justifies that is your Elish Norn is good in matchups where your sweepers aren't as good. So, if you don't need Elish Norn, then you can just blow it up. And if, you don't, or you simply just don't cast Elish Norn. If you do need it, well, you don't blow it up. You just deal with your opponent's creatures in spot removal ways or something like that, if ETBs are a must-answer thing. And if that is the case, there's a good chance your opponent is going to hyper-focus or hyper-fixate on dealing with Elish Norn. And if they do, then they might just kill it, and then you're back to not feeling bad about casting board wipes. So, Elish Norn probably does make sense here. Torpor Orb over... Is Torpor Orb in Standard? Why? This is the second time someone said this. Am I just dumb? Alright, well, everything I said doesn't matter. Torpor Orb exists. Literally everything I said does not matter. You could just play this. Same argument. Same argument. If you don't need it, then, well, you can cast it. It doesn't get blown up by your own stuff. Yeah, I like this way more than Elish Norn. I did not know this was in Standard. I did not know that. Oh, it's that Vault set. Right, it's that Vault set. I keep forgetting this Vault set exists because so many of the cards in it are... Actually, I think the entire set is Mythics. And, I mean, I'm a free-to-play player, which low access to the Mythics. But, yeah, if you have Torpor Orbs, put that in here, for sure. That's about... I have this in here to mill people out. It only came up a single time. But if I did have it in that one game, I would have won milling my opponent out. I just didn't have it that one game. It is kind of a weird way to ramp yourself off of your opponent's stuff. I'm not too excited about this as a whole, because most of your matchups, this does not matter. But there are some, at the very least, has a decent chance at ramping you moderately consistently, I guess, right? That's never a bad thing. It's not bad. I mean, it's one card slot in the deck. I'm not losing my mind. I was playing the Mirror, and someone played Kaimil, that mythic artifact, which I'm not really a fan of. I don't think there's any merit in this card. There are a lot of cards that you can hit off of this that you just don't want to cast, right? Like if you hit a sweeper, you're like, well, I guess I'm just gonna draw a card for 6 mana, and at that point, I would rather, I don't know, play anything that costs less than 6 that draws a card. Shoot, I would play Divination before I play this. I know sometimes it bails you out, and it's not like it hits dead cards, right? If you need something, it has a chance of finding it, and you can simply put the card into your hand. It's not like it's just Cascade or something. So it's all right, and the uncounterable part is cool. I mean, that would have came up sometimes, or come up sometimes. This oh no, it is came up sometimes. I'm vocally dyslexic. There was some games where the counterspell part was good, but that would mean that this itself didn't get countered, and good luck trying to resolve a 6-mana sorcery speed like bomb like this against a deck that has counterspells. So the uncounterable portion to me has never been exciting. Yeah, just play Phyrexian Arena, which we were. I think that's about it. I don't know what I'm going to put in the spot of the card I took out, but I can recommend this strategy. I really like black-white control nonsense, and I got to do it here, and it's so nice to have games where, or like basically every single game is not decided on turn 1. I really can't emphasize that enough. So if you're like skeptical about going to standard from historic Brawl, I gotta say this is just better. Even when I lose, right? Like the non-games where I lose, it's like, well, I shouldn't even throw the non-games into the equation. We already know how I feel about those. But games where I'm losing, it's like I feel like I at least get to play the game still, right? That's pretty nice. You know, you can. There's more chances for decks to come back, which is nice. Right, unless it's a polarizing matchup. If I'm up against a creature deck and they have no chance, well, I'm just drawing 3 cards a turn. But there's just, you can pull back into a game, and it's back and forth, and the card pool is smaller. And another cool thing about this is it rotates. It is a standard format. It does rotate, right? And that sucks for me because I'm free to play, and I hate just having to, got to get the most recent set every 3 months. Or actually more than that now, because it's like, what, we get a new set every 2 months because there's going to be 6 sets a year, like 3 actual sets and then 3 fake Universes Beyond sets, which apparently will be legal everywhere, so we can have like Spider-Man, SpongeBob control. So I can see it being more difficult to be a free-to-play player here, like even more difficult, which makes standard rotating much more of a taxing issue. Even not rotating, just getting the new cards from the most recent set is also going to be a tax on your wild cards. So there is an upcoming tornado that makes playing standard a complete nightmare as a free-to-play player. And so I don't know if I can keep up. I really don't know if I can keep up, right? There's a reason I don't play normal standard. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not giving Wizards a bunch of money for digital packs. I'm not doing it. I'll do the Mastery Pass. I'm not buying a bunch of packs with real money. If I absolutely have to, I'll throw like $5 here or something like that. But no, I can't justify it. I just personally can't justify it. So, yep. All right. Starting to ramble about things that are not my deck, so that's when I should stop. But those are my concerns about sticking with standard. I'm still going to play standard Brawl for a while. There's a lot of cool things I've seen from opponents, and I really want to try my hand at those things. So let me know what you thought about this deck. If you have ideas to make it more betterer or worser, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.